Hey, Dustin Tibbetts here, financial advisor with Jazz Wealth Managers. How you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. This is a quick video series that we do to just kind of teach you something new, maybe something you never heard of before. We are a teaching financial advisory firm, so we do classes every week for our customers, private only for them, so that we could teach and help you grow, help you understand your investments. Not only that, but help you with your net worth. So many cool ways we've helped customers. I wish I could publish them without getting in trouble, but sadly I can't. Today, I want to help you with something that I can talk about, and that is an ETF that you may be interested in. Now, this is not a suggestion. I don't work for them. I have no affiliation with them at all, but I just thought it was an interesting take, and it will give you an insight into how many ETFs there really are and the type of things you can choose. Now, it's not really a class on what an ETF is, so you might want to do a little research on that if you're brand new to exchange-traded funds. But here we go. Let's take a look. When we open an account for customers, if you go on our website and you join us, you transfer your account, let's say, see that? The little sales pitch in there? So if you open your account, what we do is, and by law, we have to ask you, are there any things that you want us to avoid? Do you not believe in tobacco and you don't want to invest in that? Do you have a problem with like defense companies that they make missiles and bombs and things? Is that something you want to avoid? Is it alcohol, right? Is there any particular company maybe you work for and you just feel uncomfortable investing in your own company because maybe you know something that you might get in trouble for? And so that's the rule. And so a lot of people say, you know what, Dustin, if I can avoid it, I don't like tobacco and alcohol. I'd rather not support that. And that's okay. So we can definitely do that. We have all the lists already set up, and we teach our customers how that works, by the way. But I got to thinking, what if you decided, I want to take the other side of that? I don't want to avoid it. I actually want to dive in. Like, if people want to smoke and drink and smoke pot, fine, I want to profit from it. Maybe it's not my thing, but I want to make a profit. So I thought of it, I was like, what if you want to take the other side? And it happened that I got an email literally about an hour later, and this is no joke, it was about an hour later, where it was talking about this, and so I want to bring it up to you. It's an ETF, it's called ACT, and we'll go to the board here in a second. Yeah, let's draw it up there. ACT is the ticker symbol. It's by Advisor Shares. They're kind of known for this sort of thing. They also are the ones that make the ETF YOLO, which is a cannabis-only play there. But anyways, as the name sort of applies there, alcohol, cannabis, and tobacco. These guys only want to invest in that. So to give you an example, 27% of this ETF is built up of alcohol. So that could be things like Anheuser-Busch, Molson Coors, right, if you're in there, and things like that. It could also be companies where you can buy alcohol or you could buy tobacco, right? So that could be in there as well. One of the companies in there is Dave & Buster's. But anyways, Constellation Brands is another one in there. So 27% of this ETF is made up of alcohol. Now, 16% of it is tobacco. I'm going to save what you guys really probably care about afterwards, or for last. Tobacco. So this is going to be like your Philip Morris, your Altria, right? British Tobacco is in there as well, another big name. And so that's made up 16% of the tobacco there. Direct plays now. And then in the cannabis space, you mainly have companies that have exposure to cannabis. There's a lot of names in there. Cannabis, what does that make up at the moment? So cannabis is broken down into a bunch of different categories. Not only, anyways, it's a percentage, right? So you can look it up if you're interested in it. Scott's Miracle Grow is one that you might be interested in knowing. They're participating in it. More than 50% of their business is now in cannabis, in case you didn't already know that. So that's the ACT, alcohol, cannabis, tobacco. If you want to participate in people's vices, maybe it's not your thing, of course, but that's okay. All right, so this is a new ETF, so there's a little bit of caution there. They only have about $13.5 million under management, right? That's a speck of dust in the world of ETFs. Now, we're a small company too. I'm not faulting anybody, but just know that they're just getting started. This is not a very, very large, popular ETF yet. It could be, or maybe it doesn't make it. There are lots of ETFs that just, they don't make it, okay? They started back in 2017, and this is a tough one, right? Because this is not the one you want to compare to the S&P, but they have trailed behind the S&P since their existence. Now this year they're beating the S&P, got about a 21% gain versus, at least as of this taping, 18% on the S&P. Again, it's hard to say you want to invest in this to beat the S&P. You just wouldn't, right? Nobody would make that argument. But it's worth noting that it has trailed a little bit as they try to get their bearings. It's not their goal. I wouldn't compare it to the S&P, so it's not really fair. Now the rule here for ACT is that the companies that they invest in, there's about 35 of them in there, I believe. The companies that they invest in have to have 50% of their revenues coming from alcohol, cannabis, or tobacco, ACT, right? So there you go. So it's a way you can participate in that category if you like. Now, one last thing. Philip Morris, Altria, tobacco companies, alcohol companies, they're known for paying dividends. So you're going to get a dividend in this one as well. The dividend for ACT currently sitting at 37 cents. I believe it's 1.44% yield at the moment. Of course, that changes. And you should know that it's an actively managed fund. It takes actual people to make this happen. This is not an index fund. So there will be an expense ratio. It's a little high, isn't it? It's at 0.75, right? So current expense ratio is trading at 0.75 for that. And it's an active fund. So it's about average, actually, for an actively managed fund. It's actually pretty average for that. Now, index fund's a different story, but you guys understand the difference there. And like I said, they're also the makers of the Pure Play Cannabis ETF. YOLO is the symbol. So, hey, I just thought I'd point that out to you. There are a million ways to invest, and I know a lot of people focus on the things they want to avoid, but if you're one of those people that say, hey, if people don't want to invest in tobacco, I'll invest in it and hope to make a profit. So, again, not a suggestion from me, just like to teach. This is a great example of some of the things that we teach our customers. Our goal is to be a fiduciary advisor. We're actually set up as a business, as a fiduciary advisor, but also as a teaching advisor. That's big to me. I love to teach. You guys can see I've got tons of videos here. Well, we do tons of videos for our customers and live classes as well. I hope you'll check us out at Jazz Wealth, and if you don't, you're not interested, maybe you'll just hit the subscribe button or leave a comment. That also helps as well. All right, that's all I have for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you.
Why should you choose Jazz Wealth as your retirement or long-term investing service? Our portfolios are managed by us, not some faceless mutual fund manager. Our private classes will teach you everything about investing and getting your dough straight. Best of all, our fiduciary standard means your best interest comes before ours.